Welcome back, Coins Liberty. If you're holding a penny from 1986 with a tiny little D under the date, you might want to stop what you're doing and listen carefully. That little copper-colored coin that's been lying forgotten in your change jar, tucked away in a drawer or slipped into your couch cushions, might be worth far more than you ever imagined. Some collectors and insiders believe that certain 198060 Lincoln cents could be hiding incredibly rare mint errors or characteristics that drive their value sky high. Some claims even suggest up to $98 million. Yes, you heard that right, $98 million for a single penny sounds unbelievable. Let's dive deep into the story behind this humble coin and find out why it has collectors, historians, and investors alike buzzing with interest. The Lincoln cent has been a cornerstone of American coinage since 1909, first introduced to commemorate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Breener, the penny underwent several subtle and not so subtle changes over the years. In 1959, the reverse design changed from the classic wheaters to the Lincoln Memorial in honor of the sesquicentennial of Lincoln's birth. This design remained until 2008. By 1986, the penny was well into the memorial reverse era, but even within that seemingly mundane year, there are hidden gems, anomalies, minting quirks, and mysteries that have stunned the numismatic community. Let's start with the basics. The 1986 Lincoln cent was minted in Denver, Colorado, indicated by the min mark just below the date. On the obverse of the coin, the Denver Mint produced a massive number of these coins, over 4.44 billion, with numbers that high. You'd expect the 198060D to be one of the most common coins out there, and in general it is. You can still find them in circulation, and most of them are worth exactly 1 cent. But here's where things get interesting. Within that ocean of coins there exists variations, tiny details, minting errors, and even unique chemical compositions that can turn a mundane penny into a once-in-a lifetime find. Numismatists have found examples of 198060 Lincoln cents with double die, soft center strikes, broad strikes, die cracks, and even coins struck on planchettes meant for other denominations or years. Some of these errors are easy to miss unless you look closely, others jump right out at you and leave you in a punt. One of the most famous types of mint errors is the double die in a double die coin. The die that strikes the coin has a duplicated image due to a mistake during the hubbing process. When that coin is struck with such a die, it shows doubling in the text numbers or other design elements. While the 198060 ISNT is well known for double dies, say the 1955 or 1969s, there are confirmed examples out there. Doubling on Liberty in God We Trust, or the date itself, can command impressive premiums depending on how strong and visible the doubling is. Then there are the off-metal errors. A coin struck on the wrong planchet, say a dime planet instead of a cent, would be smaller and lighter than usual. These are incredibly rare, and if one were found from 1986 with the Denver mark, especially in high grade, its value could skyrocket into the thousands, or even more. Now imagine a coin with multiple errors or a previously unknown variety. Those are the kinds of coins that spark rumors of astronomical value. Some coin experts speculate that among these billions of 198,060 pennies there may be one or two outliers, coins that were struck under mysterious circumstances like experimental planets, early test strikes, or transitional errors that never made it to the public eye. These might never have been intended for release, and if they did find their way into circulation, their value would be almost immeasurable. That's where we get to the sensational claim of a penny worth $98 million. Now, is there any confirmed auction record of a 1986 Lincoln selling for $98 million? Not officially. No major auction house like Heritage Auction, Stack's, Bowers, or Great Collections has ever recorded a sale even remotely close to that figure. The most valuable pennies on record include the 1943 copper penny, the 1909 SVDB, the 1955 double die, and other historic rarities. Those fetch tens or hundreds of thousands, occasionally more, but a $98 million 1980 Lincoln cent, that number has circulated online, often fueled by clickbait articles, viral TikTok videos, and wild speculation. So where did the $98 million figure come from? It's likely a combination of rumor, hype, and the powerful influence of social media. Some people might be confusing speculative estimates, private sales that were never verified, or outright hoaxes. Still, the idea persists, And it's not entirely without merit. Coins have sold for tens of millions, like the 1933 Double Eagle, which sold for over $18 million in 2021. Could a 1-cent coin someday join those ranks if it's unique enough, has the right backstory, and finds the right buyer? Anything's possible. Point 1. Could imagine a coin with such a pedigree, a previously undiscovered ultra rare or only of a kind prototype, mistakenly released from the mint. Add to that a compelling origin story. Maybe it was part of a special batch created during a brief experimental run, or maybe it was found in a roll of coins handed down through generations, passed over countless times before someone finally. Its rarity, that's the magic of numismatics. You never know what you're holding until you take a closer look, even without the $98 million price. The 198060 penny has other aspects that make it worth examining. High-grade examples. Coins graded MS-67 or higher by PCGS or NGC can command hundreds or even thousands of dollars, especially if they have red color designation and pristine surfaces. Full red RD Lincoln cents free of spots, scratches, or signs of circulation are surprisingly scarce, considering how many were minted. Collectors love them, and registry sets are always hunting for the best examples. Coin shows online, marketplaces, and auction sites regularly feature 198060 pennies with minor but meaningful errors, and each sale helps build a growing sense that there's more to this little coin than meets the eye. You'll also find YouTubers and TikTok creators scanning pocket change, roll hunting, and showing off coins they believe could be the next $1 million discovery. While many oft-Ho's claims are exaggerated or speculative, they're rooted in a very real truth. There are hidden treasures out there, so if you're holding a 198060 Lincoln penny, take a moment to inspect it. Use a magnifying glass, look for signs of doubling, unusual color, weight differences, or any design anomalies. Compare it to known varieties. If you think you found something rare, consider sending it to a professional. Grading encapsulated by PCGS, NGC, or Annex could be the first step in revealing its true value, and who knows, maybe you're holding a coin that could one day rewrite the record books. In the world of coin collecting, stories are just as valuable as the coins themselves. The myth of the $98 million penny isn't just about money, it's about the thrill of discovery, the romance of history, and the endless curiosity that drives collectors to keep searching. Each coin tells a story, and some stories like that of the 198060 Lincoln cent just might end with a fortune. So next time you get change at the store, don't be too quick to spend that penny. It might just be the key to unlocking a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Keep your eyes open, your mind curious, and your hopes high, because sometimes the smallest things can hold the greatest value. And as always, happy hunting. Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel, where we explore rare coins, fascinating numismatic facts, and unbelievable stories from the world of currency collecting. Today we're diving deep into one of the most talked about pennies in recent times, the 1989 Lincoln cent, specifically one that has been rumored to be worth as much as $98 million. That's right, $98 million. But is it true? What's the real story behind the 1989 penny? Is there really a mint mark? Is it rare? Is it valuable? And should you be checking your change right now? Let's break it all down to understand the 1989 Lincoln cent and why it's generating so much buzz online. We need to go back to the basics first. Let's talk about the design. The 1989 penny features the classic bust of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, designed by Victor David Breener. This design was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday, and it replaced the Indian head cent. It was the first use coin to feature a real person, and since then Lincoln has remained a constant. On the 1-cent piece on the reverse side of the 1989 penny, we have the Lincoln Memorial design, which was introduced in 1959, replacing the wheat ears design that adorned the reverse from 1909 to 1958. The Lincoln Memorial reverse was designed by Frank Gasparo and was used until 2008, when it was replaced with a series of commemorative designs celebrating Lincoln's life, followed by current shield reverse starting in 2010. Now let's talk about mint marks. In 1989, pennies were minted in two locations, Philadelphia and Denver. Philadelphia minted coins usually Carino mint mark, while Denver minted coins bear the D mint mark. San Francisco struck some proof coins with an S mint mark, but these were not released into circulation. So where does the mysterious M mint mark come from? That's where the story gets interesting and a little murky. There are online rumors and viral videos claiming that a 1989 penny Whithun M mint mark is a super rare and valuable coin, sometimes quoted as being worth tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or even $98 million. Let's be clear, as of now the United States Mint has never officially used A&M mint mark for any of its coins. The primary mint marks used over the years include P for Philadelphia, D for Denver's, for San Francisco, W for West Point, and occasionally no mint mark at all for Philadelphia issues in the past, so the idea of a 1989 penny with an M mint mark suggests one of a few possibilities. First, it could be a counterfeit, or a novelty coin. There are thousands of fantasy pieces out there, coins that are altered, modified, or engraved by private individuals and sold online as collector items. These aren't legal tender and carry any real numismatic value in most cases. If you see an M stamped onto a 1989 penny, it may have been engraved after it left the mint. In such cases, the coin might still be interesting from a novelty perspective, but it's not a recognized U.S. mint variety, and therefore not valuable in the traditional numismatic market. Second, it's possible that some people are mistaking a designer's initial for a mint mark. On the obverse of the Lincoln cent, you'll see the initials VDB near the shoulder of Lincoln. These are the initials of the original designer Victor David Brenner. Sometimes, due to circulation wear or dye doubling, those letters can look distorted or misread. Someone might interpret the B or the V as an, especially if they're hoping to find a rare variety. This confusion has added fuel to the rumors about an M mint mark, but again, there is no official mint mark. Where does the claim of $98 million come from? That figure appears to have originated from clickbait videos and viral social media posts. These posts often use flashy thumbnails, sensational headlines, and dramatic language to attract viewers. They'll claim things like, "You might be rich and not know it," or "This penny could make you a millionaire," and they'll show a regular penny with an exaggerated price tag. The $98 million number is a great example of number 1989 penny with or without an was ever sold for even a fraction of that amount. Let's look at real data from the numismatic market in circulated condition. A 1989 penny is worth exactly 1 cent. It was minted in enormous quantities, over 7.2 billion. From Philadelphia and more than 5.3 billion from Denver. That means there are over 12 billion 1989 pennies out there. Because of this, even uncirculated examples aren't particularly rare. In MS65 condition, a 1989 D penny might be worth 10 to 25. If you're lucky enough to find one graded MS67 or higher, it could be worth a few dollars, maybe $5 to $15, depending on demand and toning. A flawless example in MS68, which would be considered nearly perfect, could fetch upwards of $100 to $200, but those are extremely rare and need to be verified and graded by a third-party service like PCGS or NGC. There are also proof coins from 1989, made the San Francisco Mint. These coins are mirror-like and were struck for collectors. They bear the S mint mark. A 1989 S proof penny in PR69 deep cameo might be worth $5 to $10. In PR70, which is perfect condition, it might fetch around $25 to $40 depending on the market. Again, nowhere near $98 million. Another factor that can increase a coin's value is errors. Are there any known errors or varieties for the 1989 penny? Yes, there are a few error coins from 1989 that collectors look for. These include off-center strikes, double dies, broad strikes, clipped planets, and coins struck on the wrong metal. These errors can be worth more depending on severity, rarity, and demand. A dramatic off-center 1989 penny might sell for $10 to $50. A double die, if it's a major one, could be worth even more. However, no major double die variety has been confirmed for the 1989 cent, at least not on the scale of something like the famous 1955 or 1969 S double die sets. There is one curious footnote worth mentioning. Some collectors have reported seeing 1989 pennies with unusual die clashes or planchet defects. In rare cases, when a coin blank is struck with dies intended for another denomination, for example a penny struck on a dime planchet, that error can be extremely valuable. If such a 1989 off-metal error exists, it could indeed fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction, but these are extremely rare and again not anywhere near $98 million. So where does this leave us? The 1989 penny is a perfectly normal and common coin for most of us if you have a circulated one in your pocket or a change jar, it's worth 1 cent. If you find a mint example, it might be worth a bit more to the right buyer. If you believe you found something unusual like a strange mint mark, an off-metal strike, or a weird backlash, you should have it authenticated by a professional grading service. But the rumors about a coin being worth tens of millions, they're not based in reality. Theory, part of the viral content ecosystem designed to get clicks and views, often at the expense of real information. Still, that doesn't mean you shouldn't look at your change. The fun of coin collecting is that you never know what you might find. Rare coins do get discovered in circulation from time to time, and having a sharp eye, a good reference guide, and a little patience can go a long way. Just don't fall for the hype without doing the research. The United States Mint's official records auction house databases like Heritage and Stax Bowers and grading company census reports are all great sources for verifying coin values and rarity. Wrap this up. The 1989 Lincoln penny is a piece of history. It reflects the ongoing legacy of one of America's most beloved presidents, a continuation of a century-old design, and a testament to the billions of coins produced every year by the U.S. Mint. While most 1989 pennies aren't rare and none with an M Mint mark are officially recognized, the stories collecting remains such a fascinating and accessible hobby, and who knows, the next time you get a handful of change, maybe you'll find something truly special. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more numismatic content, and let me know in the comments what coin you want us to talk over next. Until then, happy hunting and keep checking your change.